right, good morning, Lagos. Welcome back. This is the breakfast show here on Overt Radio. We are gradually kicking off the breakfast show here, little by little. It's gaining momentum. It is 36 minutes gone past the hour of 8 o'clock, 8:36 by your time this morning. And this morning, what Ibuku and I will be doing this morning in the wake-up conversation is we'll be looking at how is state police really the solution in Nigeria. By the way, Ebokun, good morning, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Kenneth. Good morning, everyone.
All right, so can state police end Nigeria's growing insecurity? That is what Ibuku and I will be looking at this morning in the wake-up conversation. Can state police end Nigeria's growing insecurity? Remember, I just read earlier during the newspaper headline this morning, saying that the Senate saying that the reason why they are giving priority to the establishment of state police. You will hear more of that details later on. But before we continue, before we start, you can join us. We are currently streaming live on YouTube, Overt Radio Live. If you want to watch us live, you can go to your YouTube app and type in the search button. Follow us, don't just watch us, follow us, and also click on the notification button whenever we drop any video, whenever we are streaming live, so that you'll be notified and you can join us. So Overt Radio Live, OvertRadiolive, Overt Radio Live, that is on YouTube. You can also watch past of these programs here on Overt Radio on our TikTok account, overt.radio.lagos, overt.radio.lagos, that is on TikTok, and also on Instagram, Overt News, and on X, Overt Radio Live. IBK, over to you.
Okay, thank you. So today our spotlight is on a proposal that's once again sparked intense national conversation. Should Nigeria establish state police to tackle the country's growing insecurity? The Senate has defended its decision to prioritize constitutional amendments on state police, insisting that worsening insecurity across the country makes the issue so urgent to ignore. Lawmakers says the move does not mean other constitutional amendment proposal has been abandoned. Rather, they have chosen to handle the reforms in phase so that critical security issues can be addressed without delay. According to Senate leaders, protecting lives and property remain the government's foremost responsibility. Some lawmakers has even argued that beyond state police, Nigerians should also consider local government police to strengthen security at the grassroots. But is state police the solution Nigerians have been waiting for? Will decentralizing police improve security, or could it create new political and administrative challenges? So that is what we're discussing today. So I want you to join us live on Overt Radio.
Okay, go to our various social media platform. Like I said earlier, we are currently streaming on YouTube, Overt Radio Live. We are also, you can listen to us, and if you are listening to us on our Zeno platform, we urge you, we want to plead with you, we appeal to you now to share that streaming link to your various contact on WhatsApp, and also you can put it on your WhatsApp status so that your contact on WhatsApp can see it and click on it. So Zeno, ZENO.FM/radio/Overt Radio. Yes, insecurity, state police. Over the years, Nigeria, has been struggling. We have been under the jackboot of insecurity in this country by some irrelevant people that are who classify themselves, that are classified, as non-state actors. These are criminal elements, who have access to arms. And why do these people, how did they get this access? How did they have this access to their weapons, to ammunition? It's because of the lack of insensitivity, by our leaders. Yes, it is understandable, and I will always say it anywhere, anytime, anywhere, that we acknowledge the fact that this current administration of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, this current administration inherited this insecurity of a thing from his predecessor, late Muhammadu Buhari administration. Muhammadu Buhari also inherited this insecurity from his predecessor, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. So you can see how these these three leaders, you can see how they've been able to respond to insecurity. Yes, insecurity started maybe at the tail end in 2014. At the tail end of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's administration. Jonathan left the office in 2015. So if a leader who is new to insecurity in the country for 1 year, he will not be able to do things decisively. But as a leader of a country, I will always say this: it is your responsibility as a president, it is your responsibility as a governor, it is also your responsibility even as a local government chairman to secure the lives of people that you are governing. As a governor of a state, you are the chief security officer of that state. You cannot say that, because police, the Nigerian police force is not under your purview, your hands are tied. No, your hands are not tied. Since in as much as you have a police command in your state, in as much as you have police command in your state, it is your responsibility as a state governor, to give directive, to the police commissioner of police in your state, and also as a president who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, wherever there are security lapses in your country, as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because all security commands are in your clutch, are in your fist, they are in your hands. So if there are security lapses in your country, as the president of this country, it is your responsibility to give a directive to the Nigerian army. It is your responsibility to give a directive to the Nigerian police. It is your responsibility to give directive to the various security agencies in the country, to go and stem the tide, to go and curb any anywhere in the country that are being troubled by this criminal element. So this morning we're going to be looking at, is state police actually the solution to Nigeria's growing insecurity in the country? Yes, this agitation, this call for state police started back in June 2024, but the voice was given in June 2024. Prior to this administration, so many experts, security experts, politicians, state actors have been calling, for the establishment of state police. Now, the Nigerian government has seen that there is actually need, for the establishment of state police, and the senators, the Nigerian Senate, has done their own bit in ensuring, that they go through the bill, they go through the provisions of the establishment of the State Police Bill or the State Police Act, or however they want to call it, and I think it was last week, the House of Representatives, which is the lower chamber of the National Assembly, recalled the bill that they initially passed, saying that they want to review some of the provisions in the state police, in the State Police Bill. So whenever they are done, they will give a nod to that. And also the bill is currently with the various state houses of assembly, which they will deliberate on it and give it a legislative backing. So now the question is state police the solution in solving Nigeria's growing insecurity? My answer to that will not be direct, because I will be giving some reasons why I feel that the establishment of state police can actually give a kind of support, but it cannot totally solve Nigeria's growing insecurity, because there are a whole lot of things that ought to be considered. When you are establishing state police, what about other areas What about other things that are causing insecurity in the country? Okay, the government should not only focus on establishment of state police. After state police has been established and it is functioning very well, there are other things again, that should be considered. When that voice came to play, there have been concerns about state control. State governors will be empowered to appoint state commissioners of police subject to confirmation by the respective state house of assembly. Another concerns, another details again, that should be considered is safeguard to prevent governors from using state police against political opponents. The bill features constitutional firewalls and mandates that funds are sent directly to independent state police commissions rather than through the governor's office. Another thing again, that should be a thing of concern is so how will the state governors, be able to manage this when this finally gets into their control? Okay, when this finally gets into their control. Yes, it is a good thing that the government has woken up. It is a good thing that the senators, that the legislative arm in this country has woken up, that yes, we are now ready for the establishment of state police. But what about solving unemployment in the country? Unemployment is one of the things that will be that is giving rise to insecurity in the country. So let me pause and give Ibuku time to say what she has to say. IBK.
Okay, thank you, Kenneth. Actually, I feel I want our listeners to understand something, that when we talk about state police, I want us to have this at the back of our mind, that it is about bringing security close to us, preventing us from any threats, preventing us from any kidnappings, preventing us from criminals. So I actually feel what is causing arguments especially is the people are actually making the government know that it is the people that understand their language, the people that understand the culture, the people that understand the terrain, where these people come from, where they are going to. They understand the forest, they understand here and there. So this is what is really causing the argument. So what I would say again is, if the government are actually looking at state police, we should always understand that what works for other states might not work for other states. So we should look at that too. What works for Lagos State might not work for Borno State, might not work for Benin, might not work for other states, because these states are mostly, we call them village. Lagos is very exposed, it is very occupied with people. So if this I'm not saying criminals cannot penetrate or cannot come to Lagos, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what works in Lagos might not work in other states. So we should be considerate that these people, we should actually look at the local policing, people that understand the language, they understand everything. When they see any spy in the community, they'll be able to give a vivid information about it. And when there is any when there is any attack, there is any threat, they will be able to quickly attend to things like this before the state police can arrive to the location. Let's look at it. We know election is coming 2027. I don't know if that is why government are actually clamoring for state police. I don't want to say that. But what I want to say is, we know how governments do their thing all the time. We know how they do it. These are leaders know how they do. Every time they know the election is coming up, we know that they use police to intimidate their opponents. Yeah. They use it against themselves. We should also look at that area too. And it is also going to come back to Nigerian citizens, because when they start using police to intimidate their opponent, it would affect Nigerians. So I want our leaders to look it. They should not be biased. We should make it be of the people, not of ourselves. If it is for the security of the people, the state police and the local police can actually work hand in hand together to make sure people are actually safe. Looking at the funding part of it again, if these people are actually put in place, they should start working. How can we fund them? How can we make sure that welfare are being put in place? How are we going to make sure that they won't suffer? Because this thing they are yet to go and face to secure the people, they are putting their life, their family at risk. What are the necessary things put aside? Because if anybody goes or die along the way, what are the necessary things for the family?
compensation
for the family. So actually these are the necessary things we should actually put in place if we want to consider state police. And Kenneth, which I was actually talking about the necessary things we actually need in the country, instead of clamoring for state police, the employment of the people, the welfare of the people. We should also make sure these people, which is actually people that is actually secure, that can actually think of food. Someone that is not secure cannot think about food. So if we are actually putting the security at first too, we should also always remember that these people, their welfare is also important. So that is what I want to say for now.
All right, fantastic, Ibuku. Well said. Yeah. So to give my backing why state police can work in Nigeria, there are few things that should be considered. And these things are those things that are currently troubling the Nigerian police force. Number one, when you talk about establishment of state police, the welfare, just like Ibukundit said, those people that will be recruited, or those people that are currently, within the personnel, police personnel that are currently within the 36 states of the Federation that are posted to their various commands, state commands, what should be the welfare strategy when state police actually comes to play? So number one, if the government is, if the senators, if the government, if the federal government is actually interested in establishing state police in the country, they need to take cognizance of the welfare of the personnel. They need to take cognizance of the welfare of the personnel, because somebody who is dedicating his life to protect other people's life, the government must make sure that they must protect his life as well. They must take care of him, his family, because it is not easy for one to pick up arms and is being sent to the road or is being deployed to a particular location to go and secure the release of kidnapped victims, and at the end of the day he's not sure when his family will eat, when his family, the food, that money that will be given to his family. So the federal government, the state governors, and also the legislators must make sure that salary of state police must be something that is well appreciated. That is that. Then equipment, because you cannot send a police officer with a pistol to go and rescue kidnapped victims, abducted innocent Nigerians in the forest. So when this state police is in operation, it is required, it is necessary, it is important that this state police, they are well weaponized. Weapon, equipment, operational vehicles should not be lacking when the state police comes to play. Okay, so welfare, weapons, equipment, these are things that can make it efficient, because you cannot say that you are a farmer and you are going to the farm with knives, you are going to the farm with forks, you are going to the farm with just a single cutlass. You need sophisticated state-of-the-art farming equipment to efficiently cultivate your farmland. So also is the police. So when the state police actually comes to play, the state governors, the stakeholders, the federal government should ensure that police personnel, police stations, because we watch in the movies when a particular department of state in the United States is under attack, you see the state, this police station, they will go to their armory to be picking up their arms. So we want various police divisions in this country, we want them to be weaponized, we want them to have state-of-the-art weapons, ammunitions, not just AK-47 that are rotten. No, we want state-of-the-art weapons. That is that. Then when it comes to funding is one of the most important things to have an efficient state police in the country. What will be the funding framework Yes, we understand. Like I said the other day on Friday, I went through, I highlighted all the provisions, that are included in the establishment of state police, and funding is one of the things. Yes, it is understandable that the Nigerian police force is being funded by consolidated funds, but we want a dedicated funding for the state police by the various state governors. And it is also, it puts the governors on a hot seat, to revamp their economic drive in their various states. If, for instance, your state as a governor is generating 25 billion on a monthly basis, is generating 15 billion on a monthly basis, it is expected of you as a state governor to start thinking of other ways to generate revenue, for your state, in your state. Now that state police is coming to play, it is expected state governors to start thinking, if you are the one that is generating 15 billion on a monthly basis, now that state police is coming to play, it is expected of you to double, to triple, or even to quadruple your revenue, so that when the people that you be recruiting into the state police service, when you are recruiting them, you will not be thinking or racking your brain on where to source for fund. Like I said earlier, over a few days ago, that one of the first sources of funding for state police, just like the Lagos State government is doing, we have a dedicated security trust fund that citizens are citizens are expected to donate to the state police trust fund in Lagos State. So I want to call on the various policy state of the governor of the state governors to key into what Lagos State is doing, having a special dedicated trust fund for security in the country. So those few things, I think, when those things are well taken care of, Nigeria will not be, the government will not be thinking about how will this state police be efficient. So when the welfare of the personnel are taken care of, when police are adequately weaponized, and also when there is no pause is as to the funding of state police can work in Nigeria if these things are adequately addressed. IBK, last word.
Yes, you actually said well. I want to ask, I want our leaders to actually have this thing in mind before taking any decision. Does police officers' salary worth their life? Because when you look at their salary, even though it doesn't worth their life, they are going there. Because when I even think about it, I look at their salary, is it really worth their life? They say, what you want to go and do? You want to go and face, you want to rescue someone's life
from the enemy territory
because of your own life. You are risking your life. Does your salary worth it? So I actually think there are some things our leaders need to sit down and look at. That is it.
Yeah. And also, it is also important that despite the fact these things that we have mentioned, the police officers, those people that will be recruited into the state police services, they should be well disciplined. I mean, training should be top notch. Their training should be world class. Like I said, a few days ago, that for any governor to think about establishing state police, in their state, the governor should travel to developed countries, that have various state police departments in those countries. Take a cue from how they are funding their own state police. Take a cue from them on how they are doing it, because when you go to people that are already in that business and you learn from them, you will be able to replicate those things that they are doing in their state, in their country, into your own country, into your own state, so that it can work. So it is not a rocket science for state police to work. It is things that are deliberate. We must be deliberate on those components, that Ibuku and I listed on how to make state police efficient and work successfully in the country. Yes. Also, another thing again is the control of state police. In the establishment, in the act, in the provisions of that state police that I read last week, it is expected that state governors will not have an overbearing control, with state police in their domain. So there should be a clearly stated, provisions in that bill, in that act, that state governors should not have an overbearing control. Yes, it is understandable that they are the one that is funding state police, but it should not be used as a political tool. against their opponents in the country, because this is Nigeria. We know what our leaders can do.
Exactly.
We know what our leaders can do. We know how opposition have alleged that it is the ruling party that is causing trouble in their various political parties. So that is one of the fear. But I want to believe that the current crop of governors that we have are governors that are determined to make things work, if actually they want things to work. Any last word?
Yeah, what I want to say is about the citizen again. We should secure ourselves, because yes, if we should just have it at the back of our mind, because Kenneth was actually saying, I am not in support. I'm not in support of state police.
Okay.
I'm not in support of it, because I know there is a lot of disadvantages at the back of it. So I actually feel the people that actually understand the terrain, that understand the community, should work together with the current state police. If this current state police can actually be funded, their welfare is being put in place, and they are being trained with good equipment, they can work very well than actually.
You mean the Nigerian police force?
Yes.
The Nigerian police force.
Like they should. Instead of adding
another
what is it?
Fantastic. Now, yes, we need partnership for security to be successful in this country. Every stakeholder in the country need to partner with the various security agencies. So the conversation continues. We are not ending it here. We'll continue this conversation when there are other development, concerning the establishment of state police in this country. All right, Ibuku, thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome.
All right, Lagos, 9:15. I will be here for the political update. And what will I be talking about? Yes, ECOWAS has elected a new chairman, and that is the president of Senegal, Diomaye Faye. Has been elected as a new chairman of ECOWAS. I think he took over from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So expectations as Faye elected new ECOWAS chairman. That is what I'll be talking about this morning. 9:15.